The first time Elias Carter saw the alien woman, he thought he was hallucinating. The desert stretched endlessly around his broken rover, waves of golden sand glowing under the dim purple light of the planet's twin moons. Elias had been stranded for 2 days on Kepler 442b, a distant colony world humans had only recently begun exploring. His communication beacon was dead, his oxygen filters were failing, and the nearest research station was nearly 40 miles away. He had accepted the possibility that he might die there. Then he saw movement on the horizon. At first it looked like a shadow gliding across the dunes. Elias grabbed his binoculars and focused. The figure was tall and slender, moving with strange grace. As it approached, he realized it wasn't human. The being looked almost like a woman, but not quite. Her skin shimmered faintly silver under the moonlight. Thin, glowing veins ran across her arms like faint blue lightning. Her eyes were large, dark, and reflective, almost like mirrors. Long, white hair floated around her head as if gravity barely affected it. Elias froze. Humans had detected alien life signals on Kepler 442b, but no one had ever encountered one face-to-face. The alien woman stopped about 10 feet away. She studied him silently, her head tilted slightly. Hello," Elias said weakly. She didn't respond. Instead, she slowly raised one hand. A faint hum filled the air, and Elias felt a strange warmth spread through his body. His headache disappeared instantly. His translator implant suddenly activated. "You are injured," a soft voice echoed inside his mind. Elias blinked in shock. You can talk?" "I can communicate," she replied calmly. "Your species' language patterns are simple." Despite the situation, Elias laughed. "Thanks, I think." She stepped closer, examining his damaged rover and the leaking oxygen tank. "You will not survive here long," she said. "Yeah," Elias sighed. "I figured that part out." For a moment, neither of them spoke. The wind moved gently across the dunes. Then she said something unexpected. "My kind would not help you." Elias frowned. "Why not?" Her expression darkened slightly. "Because they do not help anyone anymore." Her name was Lyra. Over the next several hours, as they sheltered inside the broken rover, she told him her story. Her species, called the Alari, had lived on Kepler 442b for thousands of years. They were highly intelligent, capable of manipulating energy fields and communicating through thought. Long ago, they had been explorers, scientists, and builders. But something had changed. Centuries earlier, the Alari had faced a devastating war between their own factions. Entire cities were destroyed. Millions died. After the war ended, their society transformed. They became isolationists. Emotion was seen as dangerous. Compassion was considered weakness. Helping outsiders or even strangers was forbidden. Their civilization survived, but it became cold and silent. Lyra was different. From childhood, she had felt things her people suppressed: curiosity, empathy, even sadness. When she saw injured creatures in the wild, she helped them. When she encountered alien probes left by human explorers, she studied them instead of destroying them. Eventually, the elders discovered her behavior. She was judged, she explained quietly. The council declared that her emotional thinking made her unstable and dangerous to their strict order. So they exiled her. "They cast me beyond the borders of our cities," Lyra said, "to live alone." Elias stared at her. "That's insane." "For them, it is logical," she replied. "But you helped me anyway." Lyra looked at him thoughtfully. "Yes." Over the next few days, an unlikely friendship formed. Lyra used her abilities to repair parts of Elias's equipment. She generated small energy fields to power the rover temporarily and purified water from the thin atmosphere. In return, Elias told her stories about Earth. He described oceans, forests, cities full of people laughing and arguing and dreaming. Lyra listened with fascination. "Your species experiences many emotions," she said once. "Oh, yeah," Elias chuckled. "Sometimes too many. Yet your civilization still functions." "Barely," he joked. For the first time since her exile, Lyra laughed. The sound surprised both of them.
But the peace didn't last.
One evening, strange lights appeared on the horizon. Lyra's expression turned serious. "My kind has found us." 3 sleek ships descended silently from the sky, glowing with pale blue energy. Ilari enforcers stepped out, tall figures with glowing armor and emotionless faces. Their leader approached Lyra. "You were ordered to remain outside Ilari territory," the leader said telepathically. "I am," Lyra replied calmly. "You are interacting with a foreign species." "Yes. That violates the Council's decree." Elias stepped forward nervously. "Hey, maybe we can talk about this." The enforcer raised a hand, freezing him in place with an invisible force. "Humans are temporary visitors," the leader said coldly. "Your presence is irrelevant." Lyra moved in front of Elias. "You will release him." "Your defiance continues," the enforcer replied. For a moment, the desert was silent. Then Lyra did something unexpected. She projected her thoughts outward, not just to the enforcers, but across the entire Ilari network. Images flooded their collective consciousness. Memories of helping wounded animals, curiosity about human technology, conversations with Elias, and most importantly, emotion, loneliness, wonder,
hope.
For centuries, Lyra's voice echoed in every Ilari mind. "We have hidden from what we are." The enforcer staggered slightly as the wave of emotion overwhelmed them. "We believed emotion caused our destruction," Lyra continued. "But it was not emotion. It was fear." She gestured toward Elias. "This human risked his life exploring the stars. His people are flawed, chaotic, emotional, and yet they continue reaching outward." Elias finally felt the invisible force release him. "Maybe emotions make things messy," he said quietly, "but they're also the reason we help each other." The Ilari leader stared at them both. For the first time, uncertainty appeared in his expression. Across their mental network, thousands of Ilari were experiencing emotions they had suppressed for generations. Confusion, curiosity, even empathy. The leader slowly lowered his hand. "The Council will reconsider your exile," he said to Lyra. "That is not necessary," she replied. The leader looked surprised. "I choose my own path now." She glanced at Elias. "Perhaps our people can learn from each other." A week later, a human rescue ship finally arrived. Elias stood beside Lyra as the spacecraft landed in the desert. "You could come with us," he said. "Earth would blow their minds seeing you." Lyra smiled faintly. "Perhaps someday. And until then?" She looked toward the distant glowing cities of the Ilari. "My people must decide what kind of future they want." Elias extended his hand. Lyra studied the gesture, then gently shook it. A simple human greeting. But for the Ilari, it represented something revolutionary. Connection. As Elias boarded the rescue ship, he looked back one last time. The alien woman who had been rejected by her own kind stood alone in the desert, but she no longer looked lonely. Because sometimes, it only takes one unexpected friendship to change an entire civilization. Rocket.